Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the day of the video. Dan, how's it going today? Today, I'm at work. I'm here early. It's like 10 to 8. I wanted to start early so that I could go and get home early. And do the same again tomorrow as well for shopping. Today, not tomorrow. Absolutely flew up. Next to no traffic, which is why it's 10 to and not the hour. And yeah, today is going to be a busy day. We're going to be working, we're going to be programming hard in the office, and then during my lunch break I'm going to be programming as well. I've brought my laptop. I haven't brought my longboard because it's fucking heat wave weather. It's supposed to be like 27 plus degrees at lunch, and tomorrow it's supposed to be 30 plus, so I think it's probably best not to go longboarding in work clothes. So my plan is to sit and do some programming on my laptop. I'm going to be converting over one project into a different version control system and trying to refactor it and rewrite it as I go, try and make it nice and neat and nice. But yeah, that's my plan of attack, everybody. Otherwise, one of the main reasons I'm here early is because someone who hasn't started yet has a nice looking keyboard, and I'm looking at rubbing it. Mine's like quite a high up clicky one, like an old fashioned schooled one, compared to this one, which is more like flat, and I like a flat keyboard. So I'm going to see if I can craft it away before he turns up. He doesn't like come into the office till like 10:30, I think, after he's done his training and stuff. In fact, it'll be like midday, because he's a new starter, so he's me last week ago. Anyway, let's go in. I brought my hoodie today as well, because it's always a rookie mistake to not bring a hoodie just because the weather's hot. They turn the fucking air conditioning up and it's freezing. Holy shit, just came outside, it's like fucking stepping off a plane. There wasn't a cat in hell's chance in getting put my hoodie on today, because it was bloody... Well, it wasn't. In the office, it was actually alright. I had my sleeves down for the majority of the day. But then, like, towards the end, it got a little bit cold. But otherwise, came out the bloody office, out of the air conditioning, and we've got, like, 2 doors. One, you need a key fob to get through. The other's just an automatic door. Got to the first door, went through it. It was literally like stepping off of a plane. It's so hot outside. I came all the way home with both windows down, no aircon, so I don't need aircon. Just put both the windows down and just cruised back. Also averaging 46 miles to the gallon at the moment. I'm doing pretty bloody good. I feel so sorry for Laura, who's sat on a bus at this precise moment in time. Otherwise, what's going on? I'm rendering out yesterday's video, uploading it. Also, the lake, they've decided to put on the shitty filter thing on possibly the hottest days of the year, which means that when we have the windows open, because it's fucking ridiculously hot, we get deafened by this sound here. They firstly do that all night unnecessarily, and secondly on the hottest fucking day possible. Otherwise though, ladies and gentlemen, what's been going on today? Today at work I've been focusing on I finished off the thing I was working on the other week, which was hibernate stuff, on Friday, and started working on some... Chrome's been moved down there, look, because she's too hot in by the window. Focused on finishing that, and then I was working on some XML stuff. The tutorials are like really weirdly laid out though, so I got really confused, because we're essentially using unit tests as a test harness, and then it's a bit of a mess. So it took me a while to wrap my head around it, and I kind of rewrote it again halfway through it, but got there in the end, and I'm genuinely surprised at how much more difficult it is to serialize something into XML in Java. It's like you have there's 3 different plugins that I've got to benchmark tomorrow. But like, it's something that's just built into the core of C#. It's weird. But yeah, so I was doing that for the majority of the day. Started talking to the new guy who sits behind me, who I've now got his keyboard. It's a much better keyboard. It's like similar to this, where it's like flatter and it's more thingy. And what I always try and do is keep my computers similar. So, because if I go from typing on a different keyboard to a different keyboard, I get worse. I make mistakes and stuff. I find it really difficult to translate from keyboard to keyboard to keyboard. So I try and make all my keyboards as similar as possible. And my new keyboard is similar to, it's not obviously not identical to that keyboard and my Surface Book. It's like halfway in the middle, probably closer to the Surface Book than that one, but Yeah, so that's good. At lunchtime I started moving things over into my new project on in source control. I'm trying to decide whether or not to use a dependency injection thing instead. I want to, and I'm just trying to figure out which I know is a bastard thing to pick about, but I'm trying to decide between Unity, there's three I highlighted, but Unity, simply inject, and another one. Oh crap, it's not very good forgetting them, is it? But, so that's what I'm going to do basically while I'm waiting for Laura to get home. So, waiting for Laura to get home, I'm going to sort out this video and then look into which one of those is best. I think Unity is quite slow, but it used to be developed by Microsoft, but Microsoft dropped it. They've moved it onto the open source only. So I don't know whether that's a sign to look into something else, you know? Laura's requesting a lift. God fucking damn it. So I've got to pick up like a bus, I had problems with a bus. So now I'm picking a route and like trying to figure out where I'm going to be able to pick her up. It's going to be a nightmare. So on the way back, when we hit this junction, go this way, not this way. Don't go that way. Morning everybody. Good news is I picked up Laura fine. It's actually been a really busy bloody, even busier than I thought it would be today. It's also really fucking hot. We've got as many windows open as we can have. We don't have like, the office is open and the doors are open so it can flow through to our room, which is open. And it's so hot I was like, I'm just going to do some work. Had a late productivity hour. Anyway, picked up Laura, got back here. Traffic wasn't actually too bad. It was a little bit on the way back, but it wasn't like bad. I managed to know a couple of back shortcuts and stuff and avoid the main roads. I got Laura back here. We had, what do we have? We had dinner, just chilly, and then we were quickly writing shopping lists and things. Oh no, never mind. Quickly writing meal plans and things like that because we got a message from Beth and Ben saying that they were in Bristol. They're going house hunting tomorrow, and therefore they like said, "Do you want to hang out for a bit? Do you want like a cup of tea or whatever?" So they said that we said like we can, but we've got to go shopping. So we went shopping, bombed off shopping, came back, and then we got back at about 8ish. They got here about 8:30. And we just sat like had a cup of tea and chinwagged. Well, I didn't have a cup of tea. I had cold drinks and chinwagged for about an hour and a half. Then watched the news. And then Laura went to bed. She went to read in bed. It's so warm, like I say. And I'm like, I'm gonna think. And the problem is now we've got the windows open. That fucking fucking thing's going off, and my hay fever is gonna like pick up overnight now. So I'm gonna wake up with like streaming eyes and things. But oh well. Otherwise, it's late. At work while I was transferring my project in my lunch break. I was transferring my project into my new repository, and when I was doing that I was going through and I was changing some stuff, and then I realised that like I didn't have the NuGet packages. I couldn't download them because I wasn't connected to the internet for reasons we've discussed, but I couldn't download the NuGet packages I needed to carry on because I needed a mocking framework and I needed I just need a mocking framework, and I was looking into picking a dependency injection framework as well. And as you know, I've now like completely gone through all of my projects, and I'm like updating it all to .NET Core because it's the future. Fucking going through a lot of pain because it's the future, but it's like it's released, it's officially released and out. But everyone's open source stuff isn't up to date yet, so it's all like early alpha or early beta stuff. So this evening now, I've just been like downloading the NuGet packages. I have decided that I'm going to move away from using Microsoft Fakes. Well, I knew that. I'm using. So basically, the changes I need to make to the other system, apart from the fact that I'm changing from .NET 4.6.1. Or 4.6.2, the latest version of the framework, to .NET Core 1.0, which is the portable version. Not only am I moving away from that, but I'm also moving away from MS Test, Microsoft Fake. I'm changing from MS Test to XUnit. Microsoft Fakes to N Substitute, which is something I've been using for newer things now, just not old stuff, because I was using Microsoft Fakes. And now the newest one is I'm going to introduce dependency injection because it looks useful. I've decided that I'm going to go with Simply Inject, or Simple Injector, I think. Simple Injector, which looks good. It looks like nice and fast and nice and pretty to write, which looks good. I was in an hour in between that and Unity, but it doesn't look like Unity's been changed in a long time, so I'm going to go with the other one. So I was going to go with those things, start installing stuff, and it's like, this version isn't compatible with this version, it's all clashing, and I'm having NuGet packages going haywire left, right and centre. So I've just got it set up now so I can run XUnit unit tests, but I don't have NSubstitute yet. NSubstitute's not ready, so I've got to sit and I've got to watch the open source things to try and watch them come through basically and become supported. That's going to be fun. I've just spent the past 2 hours fucking around with it basically. I'm going to head to bed now. I'm going to try and get some sleep because I'm getting up in 5 hours time. Tomorrow should be another busy day. I'm going into work early so that I can leave early because it's going to be horrendously hot tomorrow, so this might change. If it's too hot, I'm not going to do it. But I am going to be longboarding into Bristol City Centre to go to like a meetup conference thing about ASP.NET. What's it called? ASP.NET Core and single page apps, and it's hosted by the guy who it's like a presentation conference thing. I think it's held by the guy who created Knockout.js, and he helped develop the Azure portal, which is one of the largest single page applications in the world, and it's pretty good as well. So going to be learning about stuff like that. Hopefully you can let me know when this core thing's going to be fixed. But yeah, the things you do to stay on the cutting edge and not age. The thing is, like, I know it's an endless tale to constantly chase keeping up to date with frameworks and stuff. It's a never-ending chase, but I am essentially going through and I'm rewriting things at the moment. I'm going through and I'm going to build each section again from scratch quickly. I'm not going to fuck around, I'm not going to spend another year on it, but because I've already got it, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to clean it all, I'm going to make it nicer, I might re-architect some areas, because there are areas when I was doing the project last year where I cut corners and I just had to. There are areas where I broke design to do certain things. So I'm going to go through, or conversely, there are things that I wrote this time last year which 6 months later was a bit like, oh, it doesn't really make sense to be like that. So the amount of changes that I need to do, I think it's worth doing this now. It's just irritating that I fucking don't have a mocking framework. I have Microsoft Fakes, I guess, but don't want to use Microsoft Fakes. I'm just going to try and focus on transferring the things that don't matter. So things like interfaces, some of the core wrappers of like file.io and all that kind of stuff. Try and figure out what's used and what isn't. But yeah, so it's going to be fun, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be fun. Otherwise though, I'm going to go to bed because it's late. Tomorrow's, like I say, busy day. If it's too hot, because I've got to get from work to here and then from here to town, and I can't take the car, if it's too hot, which I think it might be, like, I'm going to have to longboard down. So it depends on how hot it is, whether that's even feasible or not. Anyway, I'll catch you later. Actually as well, it might be interesting, sorry, like one of the factors that you should always consider when you're picking a framework is that framework going to die? So there's no point picking an obscure framework that's going to lose support and then not be updated in the future. A good indication of which frameworks are going to be the best supported are going to be the ones that come out the soonest and the best. Like, which mocking framework is the first to fully support core, which etc, etc, etc. So the way that XUnit's working, well, MS Test's cheating because it's Microsoft's. There's nothing actually wrong with MS Test, but I prefer. Well, no, there are some things wrong with it. It's got its flaws. They've all got flaws, but so it's like a race. Anyway, I'm gonna go back. I'm having a glass of juice, and then I'm listening to a podcast while I brush my teeth. 9% invisible. They're really short. They're really good though. You should listen.